to rock and roll.
Talking to trainer Yvette Bremner about her chances on the day, and Yvette, you get underway as far as the PA is concerned with number 6, Generous Guy.
Nate is a nice horse, very good looking horse, but unfortunately he's really, really uptight, and I think that counts against him. I think the older he gets, the better he'll get, so although it's a small field, I think it's quite a competitive one.
Yeah, it's fresher ground back on the turf. He's taken a long time to get to where he is and to trim him down. He's quite a chunky boy, and he's a heavy, thick-set horse. I'm just hoping for improvement on the turf. Bold call, he's needed those sprint ups, and this is what I've aimed him at. A little bit of distance is what's suited for him, and he's working well.
Talking about uptight, My Miracle is up next in race 4.
Yeah, she can be a fruitcake when she wants to be, which is most of the time. But she's talented, but also the same as Generous Guy. If she just settles down, she'll probably be a smart filly.
Moving on to race 4, you'll have the 3 horses running there: Destiny's Child, Call Me Blue, and Rosie.
Destiny's Child, pretty much the same thing, also back onto turf, and I've waited for this race for her. She should be thereabouts. Rosie, first run was a little on the short side. She's going to be looking for further. Still a bit immature filly, but yeah, back into quartets. And Call Me Bloom expecting improvement over the trip and on the turf.
Yes, I have the 3 fillies running in the same race. DETTIE must be in with a bit of a shout. She's going to, you know, she has to settle a little bit. She went very wide in her last run, which played totally against her. Then I also have a new filly to my yard, Love and Power. So, you know, basically it's a learning curve. She's drawn a bit on the wide side, so, you know, we're going to take our chances and tuck her in a bit and see how she runs on. And then BURGEE, she has performed better on the grass. Unfortunately, her poly form is very dismal, but she hates the poly. So we're hoping for improvement from her.
Yeah, Hither Green hasn't started off very well. She's got no speed. She comes from way off the pace, and with us racing on the poly track and not the grass, it hasn't really suited her. She ran a much better race last time out. Now with the longer straight, she'll run a much better race.
Nadine, she's galloped a couple of times with a filly called It's a Girl that's now won 2 in a row. But race day she hasn't produced the same gallop. But her last 2 starts was much improved. The last one she actually went like 4-5 wide. And the jockey came back and he said to me, apologies, and next time out she should be in the money. So if she can produce that run, we've drawn much better this time in the bundle, she should be in the money.
Moving on to race 5, Paper Town is a consistent fellow.
Very much so. He's always knocking, whether it be a top division, middle division, he's always thereabouts. His work at home's good, and back on the turf, he enjoys the track and trip.
On to race 5, and here you have My World and Free Agent.
My World as well, we didn't want to run him on the poly, and thanks to the owners understanding that we were waiting for the grass, and this race he was actually drawn 30, and he wasn't going to run, and it cut up, so I put him back in. He's going to need the run. It's not his best distance, but he will run in this mile. Then he'll run in another mile next month, and then I'm going into a 2-4 in December. He'll be a big runner.
And Free Agent in great form.
Free Agent in big form at the moment. I had to pick, do I run him over this mile or do I run him on the poly in 2 weeks' time? And Chase did say he is a better horse on the grass. He has won on the poly. And this field also, cut up, small field, and I took my chances in this race. And he's got to have a good chance. He's got to beat Etienne Braun's horse from Cape Town. But I think Etienne's horse seems to be better over 14. But he's a big runner. He's working well. He's got a good chance.
Moving onwards, a horse that looks to be finding his stride again in race 5, number 9, Desert Chief.
Yes, Desert Chief, you know, with Desert Chief it's difficult. It depends on who actually comes to the course. He's really been unpredictable, but to me he is a better horse and prefers the grass. So I'm hoping that he produces his last 2 runs.
Moving on to race 6, you have the 4 horses representing you here: Seattle Swing, Hot Curry, Late Autumn, and Masterful.
No, Seattle Swing comes off a good win last run. I think he's taken on stronger than what he met at an occasion. So it's going to be a step up in task for him. But he's always thereabouts. A good worker and a good trier, and he tries very hard. Hot Curry was disappointed last time. He didn't enjoy the poly track, and I just think his knees and joints didn't enjoy that surface, and I'm hoping for improvement on the turf. Plus the long running, he can use his galloping action. Late Autumn goes, same thing. He's taking a step up in class. He won a hard-fought battle last time, just getting there at the line, but I do feel he's going to enjoy the long running of the turf track. Masterful, He won a sprint on the turf, and then he went poly, and he's back on the turf again and over a little bit further. He's showing me his work at home that he's looking for the strip, and his work has been decent. Obviously, a little bit of inexperience coming in there, but he gets apprentice claim to get a bit of the weight off, and you'll be knocking.
LEADMAN runs for you in race 6.
LEADMAN as well, you know, with the poly, he doesn't really enjoy the poly, and he hasn't done bad, but he's a much better horse on the grass, and we've just freshened him up nicely for this race. I've just worked him now half an hour ago. He'll be right there.
Silver Blade definitely going to lead the run. He's been off for quite a while. Highland Captain, I think we've been waiting for the grass to get back on the turf with him because I think his form's much better on the turf. And then No Fly Zone, I think he'll be needing this run as well.
You've got 2 entries, very honest sorts in the way of Mangrove, who's just really come well of late, and of course your soldier, Laws of Succession.
Yeah, Mangrove's form's been very good, although it's been on the poly. Yeah, he's a nice horse. I think it's going to be very difficult to beat Snake's horse, obviously. And the rest of the field's quite open and competitive. And Laws, I'm going to be saying he'll probably need this run as well because he's been off for so long and he's not allowed to race in the poly anymore. So we've had to wait a very long time for the grass.
Yeah, very unlucky. He got a little bit squeezed at the start on that occasion. We wanted to sit a little closer with him because there was it's a tight track, the poly track. We needed to be a little closer. And he got done at the start and we were way back and he ran on very strongly. I'm happy the way he's doing. He settled in really well. I mean, you look at him, he's a 4-time winner. Although he's way under sufferance, but the amount of wins, he's won 4 races and he's going to enjoy the track and trip very much, I feel. Decent draw, we can place him well. Story of my life always gives of his best, no matter it being a mile, 2018, whether at poly or turf. He's just a hard knocking. He's an absolute soldier, and it's a pleasure that he's sound horse. And just hope for the owners he puts up a good showing.
Yes, he has. Mr. Ferraris, he came up from Mr. Ferraris because there's, no more races for him in Johannesburg. And to me, he is a little bit above average. And, so we thought, well, we'll have a go at the Algoa Cup and hopefully we can be in the placings.
On to GBet's Algoa Cup, and you've got the movie star Stormy Eclipse running as well as Plano.
Yeah, Stormy as well. He's performed on the poly, but also, he's a horse that comes from off the pace. He takes a long time to unwind. He's been dying for the long straight. He's back to his best distance, 2000. He ran 3rd in this race last year. Look, it's going to be hard to beat Justin's horse. 6 runs, 5 wins and a second. That was the last 6 starts. And we're giving him weight, but he's back to his best distance. He's back to the long straight. He's not without a chance. Plano also, he's suited to the 2000. With the long straight as well, he's got to have a chance.
Yes, as you know, we travelled to Durban. It was a bit of a hiccup, but he's coming back to himself. It is wisdom last time out. We can draw a line to that. He wasn't himself. And he'll enjoy the grass 2000. Fricky, maybe a bit short to him, but the long straight will help us. And last time out, same, he went a bit wide, sat the back, went to Cape Crawl, tried to quick away from them. And a couple of years ago, I had a horse called Key Castle that won the Glenley and the Gold Cup. Put in the Algoa Cup for the fun of it, to have a run on the day. And he was unlucky, he ran a short 8 second. So I'm sure Frick will be the same. Strong rate run, long straight, but there's wisdom. I galloped him the other day and he galloped very well. He's not a good sand horse, but he's looking very well. He's tightened up, he's trimmed up, he looks a picture.
Race 8, Silver Goblet will represent you, as well as ROCKSETTE, who's trying very hard.
ROCKSETTE hasn't put a foot wrong. Good, clean, honest, sound filly. Always does of her best. She hasn't been on the turf over this trip, so that is a question mark, but the way she runs on in her races, I feel she'll enjoy it. Silver Goblet's coming back from a bit of a break. She may just still need it, the business then, but she won well over turf track, and she enjoys the long running.
Yes, this filly I rate quite a bit. She had her first start in the Jockey Club Stakes. She ran 4th. Not well weighted to the horses who ran 1st, 2nd and 3rd. She needed the run badly. She came out and she won in the poly. She's a big runner. This filly I rate very highly.
ONESIE, new to your yard, has been running some fair races, and she'll run for you in race 8.
Yes, I gave her a prep run over sprint. Put over ground, she went a cracking 3rd. Then 2 starts ago, she's ended up being caught wide and just, again, draw a line through it. And last week she ran a cracker. We tucked her in, found some cover. When he asked her, she quickened beautifully. So now it's back on the grass. First run for me on the grass. But yeah, she'll be coming on at the day.
Yes, SMOKEY AFFAIR, she's been a little bit unlucky. She's been badly out of the weights in most of her races. So I am expecting a very good run from her on the grass. And hopefully she produces it. Just my style. is new to my stable and also having her first run. But, you know, she's got a pretty decent form, so I'm hoping that she's going to be thereabouts as well.
Rounding up Jungle Fairy, she was a competent winner last time out.
Yeah, we've been waiting a long time for her to find her form because she shows so much at home, and it's nice that she won as comfortably as she did. So we're just hoping that she'll bring that to races this week as well.
Yes, Seeking Wisdom, I've made, well, it's no secret that I love the family line to bits. She's definitely improving with every run, and she should definitely be a good runner there. And then Let's Twist, she was disappointing initially, but her last 2 runs have been, you know, much improved, and we have been waiting for the grass for her, so hopefully she can produce something on Sunday.
AVIATRIX as well, she hasn't enjoyed the poly. She hasn't got the best of knees. She comes off the poly and she's a little bit iffy afterwards. She won't run on the poly again. We'll now leave her on the grass. She's got a good chance on the grass. This is now back to a better distance and on the grass. Turn back time. She ain't disappointing on the poly. We've decided to leave the poly out. You know, she'd never raced on the poly before. We're now putting on the grass and we're hoping for a better run. And then Honey's Legacy, not a bad run last time out. She beat a weak maiden field, but she's dropped in the weight. She's got a nice lightweight and hopefully run a place.
You finish up the day with the 2 runners, GITANGO Tonight and Just Call Me Angel.
GITANGO Tonight, also disappointed on the poly. She has run well on the poly, but I feel she's better on the turf track, and I just feel the little niggles. She'll enjoy the softer, forgiving turf track more than the poly, and the type of race it is, she could be there in with a shout. Just Call Me Angel. I've stepped up in class. She's coming back from a little bit of a break. I don't think she's without a chance with the lightweight, and she's working very well at home. She's just got to give her her best.